Hello everyone. So today is day 7 since my operation, and I thought I will give you an update on how the last few days have been. So the last few days have actually been a bit up and down, but overall they've actually been quite good. As some of you may know from watching my previous video, I was discharged from hospital the day after my surgery. This was because I wasn't really feeling that much pain. I had a few areas of discomfort, but overall the doctors decided that I will be able to continue my recovery at home. Well, the first thing I noticed when I got home is that unlike in hospital, I don't have a recliner, or my bed at least cannot be reclined. So by looking at other people's stories online, this is actually quite important. And if you have a recliner, make sure that you have it ready to be used, because on the first few days you will definitely need it. And this is because it's very difficult to lie flat without feeling discomfort or pain. And then if you try to put yourself in a position that's somehow reclining-ish, it's very difficult because you have to rearrange your pillows in many different ways, and eventually it was not going to be comfortable. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and try to change position again, and so on and so forth. But anyways, as you know, I was pretty happy with how everything have gone, and I was looking forward to my recovery. Well, my happiness didn't last for too long, because that night and the following day on Saturday, I was actually in a bit of pain. And this is understandable, and this was to be expected. In all honesty, the biggest pain was just this shooting pain that I was getting down my arm. And the reason for this, I'm assuming, is because of the brachial plexus. Some of you may know from your research online and trying to look at how the surgery is performed. When you come in through here to get to the first rib, you will encounter the brachial plexus, which is the nerve that controls several areas of your arm. So in order to get to the first rib, you have to actually isolate the brachial plexus, which means you have to move it out of the way so that you can cut out the first rib and take it out itself. So I was told that I was going to feel this pain anyway, and it was going to be temporary, and indeed it has been. Because to be honest, I mean, I was not feeling very well on that Saturday. I had this shooting pain, and I couldn't find a position, and I had to make use of the painkillers. Which, by the way, if anyone is interested, this has been 1 gram of paracetamol combined with 60 milligrams of codeine every 6 hours. But I think it's manageable. It's definitely very manageable. To be honest, even so, I was still feeling a bit crappy on that Saturday. Sunday I was feeling much better, and I was able to go out, and I met with my dad, who had come all the way to Spain to be here with me throughout the surgery and so on. Yeah, I think like Sunday I was much better, and I was still having problems at night and in the morning and so on. But by Monday and Tuesday, I was actually feeling much better. So much so that on Monday at night, it was the last time I took painkillers, because I thought I was actually feeling like less and less pain, which was fantastic. And in fact, Tuesday was my best day. On Tuesday, I realized that I hardly have any pain. The only my biggest discomfort still is like maybe this area of tension here, which right now is actually much more manageable because it's gone down a lot. I had a bit of inflammation. I went to the doctor just to make sure that the inflammation that I was getting was okay, and he told me it was fine and whatever. I also went to ask about this area here that I still feel numb, and I was told that what the reason for this numbness is not to do with anesthesia, but it's actually to do with the fact that when they performed the surgery, they probably cut some superficial nerves. However, I've been told that this is going to be temporary, and those nerves will regrow again, and I will go back to normal or semi-normal in the next few weeks or so. But to be honest, I mean, at least getting that opinion was actually very reassuring, to be honest. But anyways, Tuesday I was feeling fine. Yesterday, Wednesday, I was feeling still fine, like no real pain or anything like that. But the whole day I have this feeling of malaise, which I couldn't get rid of, even though I was taking paracetamol for it and so on. Still, yesterday I woke up fine. I think that was actually the first time that I properly was able to sleep the whole night without being woken up by the pain on my arm or by uncomfortable position or anything like that. And today, in all honesty, I feel really good. So much so that tomorrow I'll be going back to work. Well, maybe not going back to work in the sense of it, in the sense that I'm not going to go to work itself, but I'm going to be working from home. I already spoken to my manager, and already gotten like some doctor's notes on it, and I think I'm sufficiently fit to work from home, and I'll be working from home tomorrow. So that means that in 8 days, I've been able to go from surgery to being able to work. Even though my type of work is mostly desk bound, so it's like office work. Um, but in 8 days, I've been able to recover from this surgery. As it comes to the tension or anything like that, or even like the range of motion, like the movements, I can tell you that. I mean, as you can see here, I still have restriction on my movement the movement of my head towards my left shoulder, but in all honesty, it's much better than it was. It feels less sore, it feels less tense, and I'm actually feeling great, to be honest. Now the biggest thing is that slowly I'm regaining like the sensitivity around this area, so the numbness is slowly fading away. And also by doing my physiotherapy, I find that sometimes I'm getting a bit of soreness on the muscles, which I'm assuming that's to be expected, to be honest, because right now then I have some muscles that have not been worked for some days, and they're trying to balance out the fact that I'm missing one big muscle there, like the scalene muscle. Actually, it's actually not that big, but anyways, to balance out, to like try to equilibrate the whole area there. But still, I'm continuing with my physiotherapy, and I think right now the most important thing is going to be the physiotherapy. I will let you know in a few days how the coming back to work has been. But I'm assuming I'm not going to have much of a problem. I'm going to be sitting down on a desk. I'm going to be doing a bit of paperwork here and there, using my computer, writing down notes and things like that. So hopefully I won't cause too much soreness around this area or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I will keep you up to date. And I think I will make another video about how I was diagnosed with the thoracic outlet syndrome, and also maybe do other videos to do with the surgery itself maybe, and also the kind of drugs I'm taking. So thank you for watching. Sorry that this has gone on a bit longer than expected. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me any questions that you think of. That's it. Have a good day and speak to you soon. Bye.